What's up, people? It's Rauta and time to discuss what was Kaamos Metal Cruise 2023 all about. Now that is all and done a week ago, it's time to do a little bit of a recap. Now, since I was announcing the festival, here's the preview. There was a little bit different lineup. That is, instead of Belphegor, there was supposed to be Venom Inc. But due to some health issues within the family of the band members or whatnot, Belphegor replaced Venom Inc. and of course it was a little bit different then. However, the rest of the bands stayed the same and there it is. Time to discuss what was going on. Now, originally I was supposed to do a little bit of footage of the cruise and all, but then I kind of figured out there's not much really different things to show you than what I did with the Nordic Metal Cruise, a sibling kind of a cruise to this one, with the same promoter and all that stuff, so it's not like I'm comparing competitors. But I will link that to it, and you will get to see how was the vibe, how are the cruising ships all about, whether it's about spa, karaoke, metal bars, or the shows, etc. But overall, I would say, much like Nordic Metal Cruises, Kaamos Metal Cruise was top-notch. I mean, whether it's about enjoying some gigs or just enjoying some really good food, going to the spa, or taking a look at the archipelago with your friends, having a pint of liquid cold beverage like drinks, it's all just really good. I mean, there's so many things which I could really address, but then this would be a 60-minute video. First of all, let's get the basics done. I mean, going to these like cruises from Turku or Åbo, from my home city to Stockholm and back, takes about 22 hours. You leave about 9 o'clock in the evening, then you cruise for about 22 hours, and then you come back around 7. And that's pretty much the whole deal. I mean, you get to buy tax-free booze, you get to see the archipelago, you get to go to places like sauna, spa, or just drink outside, inside, wherever. Maybe you go to for your cabin for a nice nap, or then you visit a lot of those fancy restaurants. I mean, there are plenty different kind of stuff. If you want something small like a sandwich, or I don't know, cheese salad, that's up to you. Or maybe you go for some warm meal with, mashed potatoes and meatballs. Done. Or maybe you fancy some of those premium burgers. Maybe a good pizza. Maybe you want something else from the grill. Half a lobster. Done. Or maybe you go for a full buffet deal. This kind of a smorgasbord kind of a thing where you get just eat for, 2-3 hours with a decent price, and you get to, experience all the fancy desserts on the top of it once you're done with your, I don't know how many platters you're gonna eat kind of a meal. Done. What about the fancy premium beers, the craft beers ones? Sure. Drinks like, I don't know, I had a great Bloody Mary at the boat. Done. Get to meet like-minded metalheads who are there for just band and, having a little bit booze on the go. Surely. Or maybe you just like to stay in your own cabin for a while, doing whatever you want to do. Yeah, sure. Now, there are plenty of things to do at the ship, and sometimes these almost 24-hour cruises, you feel like this is done too early. I barely slept for something like, 5-6 hours, and I was like, this is going too fast. I didn't even see all the gigs, partially because you're engaged in meaningful, interesting conversation, or because you're having beers. But when you also get to see these guys, on stage, these bands, well, it's like combining a metal festival and these relaxing cruises. Like we had this group, pretty much the same people last year at Spa. We're all bunch of metalheads, and there we are just enjoying Yakuchi, going to herbal sauna, having a couple of beers or whatever drinks people are having, taking a look at the beautiful island-filled archipelago. It's just mind-blowing and relaxing. Or maybe you go for outside with your friend for, some good beer or drink, whatever cocktail you prefer. It's all there. And, of course, some good shows. Now, like I said, I didn't see all the shows. For example, Suotan, I missed most of the show. Why? Because I was enjoying a good craft beer with my good friend and cameraman Antti. And by the time we were there by the stage, already last song happening. Sometimes these things happen. biased and again played a good show, and I was lucky to have a long interview with those guys with a lot of topics discussed, whether it's about lyrical content, whether it's about these young guys, death metal phenomenon taking place, giving their examples and stories why they're doing this kind of death metal and how has that changed a thing or two. I think it was an interesting conversation, but then again, I'm kind of a bias to, explain why my own stuff is interesting because it might not be to you what I'm thinking. Anyway, I think you should totally check it out because Bias is a good band and also, well, good show and I think interesting interview as well. Unfortunately, the other bands I wanted to get for interview, Tiamat and Belphegor, never replied to my emails, so those interview possibilities are unfortunately, well, didn't happen, so to speak. Now, because of more cruises are coming, I think this is a good way also to mention that Nordic Metal Cruise 2024 edition early on, I think it was in February, only a few months away. Well, that's happening, and there will be bands like Abath being the headliner, but also warm-up bands like Toxic Holocaust and Hell Reaper doing the warm-up stuff. Definitely going there until I'm like dead or, I don't know, super ill. And let's hope there will be more interviews and all that stuff coming. Now, like I said, if you have never been to these cruises, you should totally do for the reasons just mentioning. Always relaxing, even without the bands, but of course it gets just better when you have bands to check out, not just drink booze or, I don't know, see the archipelago, whatnot. I will link the Nordic Metal Cruise 2022 to this video, and that will kind of give you a tour around the ship, how it looks like, what's the general vibe being, all that stuff. And that should give you a little bit of an idea how it's going to look like. And of course, there are previous editions also done with interviews and whatnot. So if you want to explore a little bit further, go ahead and do that. There's plenty of video material here on the channel about those cruises. Now, I hope to see you, some of you guys, at the Nordic Metal Cruise 2024. Hope you enjoyed your stay if you were at Kaamos, and should you have questions about these coming tours or this particular one, don't be a shy one, just ask and I'll let you know. Thanks for taking a look. Bye bye.